So for this video no is i-describe muna natin yung laboratory natin, no. So itong laboratory natin is it simulates a small scale integration scenario using two subsystem or subsystems. So yung dalawang subsystem natin is subsystem A at saka subsystem B. Yung subsystem A natin is to provide or data provider. Tsaka yung subsystem B naman natin is a consumer or display system. So ang purpose na itong dalawa is to experiment or demonstrate how integration models, specifically data integration, no, it allows separate systems to communicate and work together. So it is also reflect in the real world enterprise environments. So tapos na natin ma-describe. So next is yung description natin or components. So sa subsystem A natin, or say let's say the data provider is yung goal niya is to represent a system that own and produce data, no. So sa ganitong experiment natin is para ma-simulate, no, ang student record system natin na output structure information, like for example kay JSON format or sa JSON format natin. So this mirrors real world systems such as, so may tatlo tayo. First is ang student information system or SIS, no. Pangalawa is HR database or databases. At pangatlo is inventory or payroll system natin. So in short, subsystem A natin is hindi siya, no, nagki-care kung paano ang data magdi-display. So yung responsibility niya is only to provide accurate and structured data. So yan lang yung role ni subsystem A natin. However, si subsystem B naman natin is a consumer or a display. So subsystem B natin, yung role talaga niya is to represent a system that use data from another system, no. Yung meron siyang tatlong role. So pang-una is to read the data produced by subsystem A. So of course, kung wala si subsystem A, wala si subsystem B natin. Pangalawa is to interpret and process it. So sa subsystem B natin yon, no. At pangatlo is to display in a human reliable format, no. Under that, this reflection real system like dashboard, reporting tools, web or mobile for frontends. So yung subsystem B natin, para sa hindi makakalam, is not a store original data. So hindi siya magkakastore or mag-store ng original data, no. It depends lang talaga sa subsystem A natin. Now, proceed tayo sa yung na-choose natin. Kasi pinapili tayo sa laboratory natin or namin. So, pinili ko yung data or data integration. So, bakit data integration, no? So, may tatlo tayo, no, kung bakit natin pinili. First is most common integration approach in organizations. Pangalawa is simple lang, no, to demonstrate and understand. Not simple, but if kung mag-research ka lang tsaka maintindihan mo, matatawag mo talagang simple siya. At pangatlo naman is closely related to ETL, no. From the word ETL, ito yung extract, transformation, load, process, no. Ito yung ETL. Another that, subsystem A natin is to export data as file like JSON. While subsystem B naman natin is directly engages and process that data, no. So wala siyang direction para ma-call between system and no shared also sa user interface para gawin siyang malinis na example of losing coupling. So proceed tayo sa demonstration na. So sa demonstration natin, yung overview lang natin, no, ang demo. So sa first is ang subsystem B natin is generate a student.json file. While sa subsystem B naman natin is to read the file and display the data. So proceed tayo sa demonstration na. So yung first line natin, no, which is yung import JSON natin. So button nilagay dyan is to import Python's built-in in JSON module, diba? So which allow Python object like list and dictionaries to be converted into JSON format. So yan yung first slide natin, no? Ba't tayo naglagay ng, of course, JSON, mag-import tayo ng JSON kasi yan yung common ngayon eh. So next natin is yung list dictionary natin, which is ito yung mga my name, ID, saka my course and year. So create natin ito and to store in a variable student. So each dictionary no is represent one student record, no? Isa-isa yan sila. Isa-isa sila, no? So one student record. So each kuan represent, or each dictionary, sorry, has represent, no, ng isa lang na student record. Example sa ID natin is unique student identifier, tsaka name natin, of course, full name ng student. Sa course naman is kung ano yung na-enroll na program, and year is current year niya. So in other word, no, this structure mimics how data is usually stored in database or sent between system. And then proceed tayo dito sa with open natin na line. So dito naman is sa naglagay tayo ng with open dito is word open para ma-open niya yung file name ng student.json. So ito yung student.json. So baka magtaka kayo kung bakit naglagay tayo ng W. It's because i-write niya or isulat niya ang mode ng meaning na if ang file already exists, so it will be overwritten. So if kung hindi naman, so it exists, no, or it will be created, no. So naglagay tayo ng with statement or with, naglagay tayo ng with because this is to ensure the file is properly closed after writing, even if an error occurs. So yung JSON dump student file indent or indentation for is equal to 4 naman natin is to convert na student Python list into JSON format, no. Ito yung purpose. Of course, also to write into JSON format or students.json format. So yung indent naman natin is equal to 4. So this format now is the JSON with indentation, no. Ito yung indent para maging easy to read sa users, no, or humans, no. So this step 2 is to demonstrate data integration, so where data is prepared in a standard format for other systems or subsystems, sorry, to use. And the last is yung display natin, information display. So ito talaga yung output natin, no, kasi nga naglalagay pa tayo sa subsystem A natin. So dito naman is to print, no, a message to console to confirm that first is, so the data file was successfully created. So ito yung magpa-print, no, and also subsystem A has complete a task as a data provider. So sa subsystem talaga natin is
tayo talaga yung data provider, no? Unlike sa subsystem B man natin mamaya, makikita nyo lang. So dito talaga sa subsystem B natin is nagpo-provide lang tayo, no? Baka magtaka kayo kung asan yung nilagay natin ng mga tawag doon, mga dictionaries or list dictionaries natin. So malalaman niyo rin yan mamaya sa subsystem B natin, at doon nyo rin makikita. Kasi nga dito sa subsystem A natin is or data provider lang tayo. So nagpo-provide lang tayo ng mga data. So proceed tayo sa subsystem B natin. By the way pala, bago tayo proceed sa subsystem B, so ito muna yung output ng subsystem A natin. Wait lang, back muna natin, tsaka play. Yun. So ito muna yung output nya. So student data has been generated. Kumbaga i-generate muna nya yung subsystem A natin. So mamaya nya i-represent sa subsystem B. Yung ipakita niya lahat, no?
So, proceed tayo sa subsystem B. So, basic lang to kasi nagawa naman natin to sa subsystem A. So, may a little bit na kung nandito mga na iba. So, malalaman nyo rin yan. So, first is import muna natin ng JSON. And then, of course, with open student students.json. So lagyan muna natin dyan, tsaka yan, dito lalagay tayo ng right or R, sorry. So yung R is ito yung babasa na, no? Unlike kanina sa subsystem A is W yung nakalagay. So kasi yung R is babasahin na, no? Yung subsystem A, yung nasa subsystem A, para malabas niya dito sa subsystem B na kung anong yung nasa subsystem A natin. So malalaman nyo rin yan mamaya sa output nito. So, tapusin muna natin to. Next is student SQL JSON.load file. So ito na yung converter, no, from subsystem A to subsystem B. So next is print. Of course, print natin itong lang. Of course, ipiprint na natin to subsystem B kasi nga binabasa niya. So of course may output na, di ba? Unlike kanina sa subsystem A. Display na, o display, lagay tayo ng display kasi nga i-display na natin yung output records. So i-display na natin yung mga records sa subsystem or dictionary sa subsystem A. So simple lang to, gagawin lang natin. Students. So ito na, i-print na natin. Lagyan natin ng print if ID or letter natin. ID pala dito, ID, sorry. Continue lang natin. So if another naman, another is next is tapos na tayo sa names, course tayo. Course student. Course. And then ano pa? Year level pala, year level. So print year. Then last is print natin itong times 30. So bakit nagtaka kayo kung may ganito tayo is ito yung napoprint, no, or a divider natin. So made of 30 dashes. So another that this is also a visual separate each student record or making the output easier to read, no. So siya ay visually separates, no, or sineparate niya siyang separate sa each student record, no, para maging easier ang output, no, easier to read or easy to read yung output natin.
So ito na-fix na natin yung mga problem kanina, no. So may mga baliktad lang, may kulang. So fix natin, tsaka ito na, papakita ko na sa inyo yung output. Ito na. So kadalasan nakita nyo kanina sa subsystem A natin, ito nang lumabas, diba? Maximum of 30 to 30 kasi 30 yung linagay natin sa last, divided into 30. So first is yung ID1, verify lang natin ID1, ID is 1, then name John De La Cruz, course with IT, year level second year. So ito na, continue yan hanggang kang Dexter. So yan na yung output, no. Ito na yung resulta ng subsystem A putang subsystem B. Ito na yung output, no, ng dalawa. Kasi kanina nakita nyo system.outprint lang, kumbaga yung output ng subsystem A. Kasi nga dito natin to dito dapat ilabas kasi ito yung reader. Unlike sa subsystem A natin, siya is kumbaga ilalagay lang niya or i-write lang niya or isulat lang niya. Yan sa subsystem A natin ang tawag nun, create lang siya. Oo. So ito na yung output. So yung integration pinpoint natin is and also a challenge. So during sa integration natin, several potential issues become apparent. So first is data format dependency. So if a subsystem A changes the JSON structure, subsystem B will fail. So nasabi ko na yan kanina. And pangalawa is schema or mismatch. So missing field or rename case can cause runtime errors. So na ganyan din ako kanina, pero na-fix ko rin kasi nga may mga problems lang na kulang or baliktad. And also pangatlo is no validation layer. So real system require validation, transformation, or cleaning of data. So nagawa ko na yan kanina. At pangapat is yung synchronization issues natin. So sa subsystem B, it depends on update data from subsystem A. So nasabi ko na rin yung kanina, no? So kumbaga sinamarize ko lang, and similar to batch ETL, no? Ito rin, alam niyo rin yung meaning yan kasi nasabi ko na kanina, and may ito summarize ko lang. So this challenge reflect, no, real world integration problems faced by enterprises. So in the real world natin, or real world application natin, so itong experiment na to is closely mirror real integration scenarios, such as first is school system natin. So makikita naman kanina is halatang pang school talaga sa dictionary pa lang niya, or data natin. So enrollment system exporting data to grading portal. Pangalawa is finance or core banking system feeding data reporting tools, and HR system, so payroll system sharing data with government compliance platforms. So in a large scale system, no, so ito na mga type of integration is often handled by APIs, and also middleware, message queues, then ETL Philippines, PV lines, no, and microservices architecture. So yan, no. And then reflection and conclusion natin. So yung laboratory natin, no, is nagde-demonstrate na even simple system can illustrate, no, even simple system can illustrate a powerful integration concept by separating responsibilities between data provider and consumers. Like system become more modular, scalable, and maintainable, no. So yung napili natin na data or data integration model is a provider, no, effective for showcasing interoperability while exposing common challenges such as data dependency and transformation needs. Although simple, but this experiment reflects the same, no, principles used in enterprise level system integration, no. So yun lang. I hope na may natutunan kayo kahit maliit man lang, no. So ganyan talaga tayo pag mga beginners. Learn until you succeed, diba? So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.